What's up YouTube? Silver Dragons here, and in this video I'm going to talk about the difference between a silver round and a silver coin. This video is kind of for the newer stackers, but there are a few silver coins and rounds out there that are super confusing, so we're going to clear up any misconceptions. Alright, let's do it! Thank you so much for watching my video. I sincerely appreciate it. If you would like to learn more about investing in precious metals, or if you just want to watch awesome videos about gold and silver, then make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Alright, so this is silver round versus silver coin. Now, this is my favorite silver round that exists. It's the Honest Value Never Fails silver rounds. And I actually have a few of them. Check out this. From the Constitution Mint. Absolutely gorgeous. This is a nicely toned one. I actually have a package here with some more of these, so we're going to unbox that as we talk about the difference. Now, I'll just say right off the bat, usually the main difference between a silver coin and a silver round is that silver coins have a face value. They're backed by a sovereign nation. Silver rounds have no face value, and they're not backed by a nation. So that's usually the difference between the two. However, there are some exceptions. We're going to get into those. We have some more of the Honest Value Never Fails rounds. Oh, here we go. Yes. Okay, so I got 4 more of them to add to my collection, which gives me 10 now of the Honest Value Never Fails. Now, some of these have dates on them. Check out, these are from the Liberty Mint, so they're a little bit different than these ones. You can see different reverse there. Pretty interesting, but they do have the Honest Value Never Fails. There's a 85. Very cool. This one is not dated, and then we got 2 more to add to the collection here. Also from the Liberty Mint. That one is not dated, and that's a 1985. Very cool. So a couple of different dates I got, I guess now. Well, actually a few dates. 1974. What's this one? 1973. So yeah, it would be really cool to get all the dates. 1980. I'm not sure exactly what years they made these. Another 73, but I would love to get every single date on these particular rounds. 73. See the last one here, 1980. Okay, cool. So those are all silver rounds. So these have no face value. They're made by private mints, Liberty Mint, Constitution Mint, and they're considered rounds. Alright, so now that I got everything set up a little bit better, let's break down rounds versus coins, and let's get into some outliers. So like I said, rounds made by private mints. Here's another really cool round, the Great Northwest. It's got Mount Hood, Mount St. Helens, absolutely gorgeous, not a coin. Alright, so just because it's an ounce of silver and it's in a disc form, that does not make it a coin. So it's got the silver trade unit on the back there. Very cool. Now, rounds can be just total generic rounds. They could be vintage rounds. Some of them can be very expensive. There's even modern rounds that are made like this one here. This one could be a little bit confusing. So this is the Germania from 2020. Absolutely gorgeous. That's all I'm going to say about that. Now, if we look at the reverse here, you can see it has the denomination of 5 marks at the top. However, Germania is not a country. This is made by a private mint. So this is actually not a coin. It looks like a coin because it has a face value there, but it's not because it's made by a private mint and it's not made for a country. So no country actually backs this. You can't spend this anywhere, which is why it's a round. I'll get to one more that's kind of confusing. It's the Liberty Dollar. This looks totally like a coin. So it's got USA there, Liberty at the top. And check it out. It even says dollar, $10, right? And so the guy that made these, actually, he did jail time because he was essentially faking U.S. currency. And so this is not a coin, although it totally looks like a coin. It looks like you could go spend this for $10, but it's not made by the United States Mint. So this one's actually super confusing, but technically that is a round. All right, so now let's get to some coins, and we'll get to some I guess, confusing coins as well. Probably the most popular ones would be like the American Silver Eagle. Obviously, this is a coin. It's made by the U.S. Mint. It is backed by the United States government. This is actually the rarest one of the bullion because it's 1996. Yeah, you can see it's got a face value of $1 there at the bottom. So I could totally go spend this for $1 here in the States. Now, I'm not going to do that because it's worth considerably more. These are going for about 22 bucks right now as I'm filming. But yeah, that is a coin. Another example of a coin, the Canadian silver maple leaf. Here's a nice one here. This is one of the older ones. Now, this is backed by the government of Canada, right? These are made by the Royal Canadian Mint. This one has a face value of $5 at the bottom there. And this is actually the rarest one for the Royal Canadian Mint, 1997. So a little bit of a premium on that one there, just like the rare eagle. But this is a coin. You could spend this for $5 in Canada. Now, a few other coins here. We have the Australian kangaroo, very popular over in Australia. Let's see what the face value is on this one. Looks like we got $1, so you could spend this for $1 in Australia if you like. That is backed by their government. I'll give you one more example here. This is a pretty popular one, the Philharmonics. These are made for Austria. And let's see the face value on this one. It's kind of an interesting one. 1.5 euros. I just find that so funny. They couldn't make it €1. They couldn't make it €2 because of too much red tape when they came out with these, because there already is a €1 and a €2 coin. So they went with the 1.5 euros. Hilarious. All right, now let's get to a little bit more of a controversial coin, but I'll explain to you why it is a coin. And this is it right here. This is the libertad from Mexico. And this is pretty controversial because there is actually no face value on it. So it's a little bit of an outlier. So this one's from 2018. It's 3 nines, fine silver. You could see 1 onza, so 1 ounce, plata pura, pure silver, and then lei 999. And so you would expect this to have a face value of like 10 pesos or something like that. But if we turn it over to the other side, you can see there's no face value. We do have this gorgeous eagle here. If I can turn it the right way, you can see it a little better. But yeah, really cool coin from Mexico with no face value. So typically coins are given a face value, which basically says, look, the government recognizes them as legal tender. They are backed by a sovereign nation. Now, even though the libertads from Mexico do not have a face value, they are still backed by the Mexican government. Now, I've actually never done this, but I've heard you can go to Mexican banks and actually purchase these from them. So they're made by the Mexican government. They're backed by the government. They don't have a face value, but they are recognized as coins. And if you don't believe me, just look online. Any website that sells these will have them listed as coins. So a little bit confusing on this one here, but it's a coin. So there you go. Now, the last thing I want to touch on when it comes to silver rounds versus silver coins is which is better to buy, which is better to actually stack and hold, right? Because when you're purchasing silver bullion, you want something that's going to hold its value, that's going to be trusted in the long run. So should you get silver rounds or silver coins? What's best? Now, I would say silver rounds typically are very trusted. They're extremely easy to test if these are silver or not. And so I would say I feel completely confident when I buy these, and if I were to resell them, I'd feel very confident that I could get still the price of silver out of them. Typically, I would get spot price for my silver rounds when I sell them. And so I guess you could say the coins hold the value a little bit better because you can get over spot usually when you sell coins. Probably the most notable would be the American Silver Eagles. I can actually sell these for $2.50 over spot. And so I would say it really just depends on how much you're spending on your rounds versus your coins. If you're getting your rounds for basically the same price as you would get a coin, I would say buy the coin, because yeah, typically they are going to be a little bit more trusted. And they are backed by a sovereign nation. So if the price is pretty nominal between the two, then I would for sure get the coins over the rounds. Now, that being said, if you do buy generic rounds and you go through them and find some really beautiful vintage toners like these, then obviously you could sell them on eBay for quite a markup, because there is a demand for beautiful vintage silver rounds. But typically when you buy a bunch of silver rounds, you're just going to get like buffaloes or something like that. If you don't know what a buffalo is, this is what they are. They're pretty cool. They're definitely the most popular silver round that exists. And yes, of course, they have a buffalo on them. So there you go. I'll put that with the other rounds over there. If you have any questions on the difference between the two, feel free, leave a comment down below. I try and respond to all of the comments, but I think I explained it pretty well in this video, so hopefully you got a good grasp on the difference between rounds and coins. So anyway, I want to say a massive thank you so much for watching my video, and I will see you all in the next one. Silver Dragons out.